everybody has, I think, this picture of real estate as you can make a lot of money fast. You see, private jets, these nice cars, everything like that.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Real Life, Real Money, Real Estate. This is a segment that now created. We have our first guest here. We have Mitchell Gonzalez.
What's up? Mitchell the Realtor here.
The objective today is to talk about real estate, talk about money, and get to know Mitch a little bit. So the idea of this interview is to learn a little bit more about real estate and how the average person can get into real estate and what are the many obstacles that people come into. So I wanted to ask you, Mitchell, how did you get started in real estate?
So kind of crazy, I never kind of saw it in my journey. I went to UTSA, graduated with my business degree, was going to go the corporate route, kind of just climb my way up, do what I could. Actually, my fiance Erica, she had a family friend who is Mario. And I saw him on social media. I saw he was doing really well. And I wanted to know, what is he doing? Because you always hear about real estate, everybody has, I think, this picture of real estate as you can make a lot of money fast. You see, private jets, these nice cars, everything like that. And so, I've always wanted to kind of look deeper into it, but I just never wanted to make the jump. So one night, I reached out to him. I said, hey, man, what are you doing? But I had no intentions of jumping into it. And, we got on the phone. And I talked to him, and I was like, this is going to be like a 5-minute call. It ended up being like 2 hours.
2 hours, wow.
So I talked to him about everything because I wanted to make sure that I knew exactly what I was about to do. Because, I had a good full-time job. I was working at Washtub as a manager. I ran my own location, and previously I had worked at H-E-B as a manager, so I had a very broad view of management experience plus my degree. So for me to leave that and do something completely different was a big difference. Yeah, and so we talked on the phone about the pros and cons and what the possibilities are, and it got me excited. And I hadn't been excited like this since I don't remember. I've always been that kind of guy going to a 9-to-5 job. No excitement really, just paying the bills. And he got me excited and he got me thinking. And that conversation ended up leading me to take classes with real estate.
Nice.
And I did that part-time while I was working full-time. And I guess the rest is history. My real estate took over so much of my time that I had to eventually quit my full-time job as a manager.
It's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to touch a little bit more on about that, how the process got started for you. But right now, what I want to ask you is, what does real estate mean to you, man?
So real estate means to me, in my opinion, it's helping people. It's making a difference in your community. It's making a difference in people's lives. It's about, helping people achieve goals and dreams that they never thought possible.
Yeah.
Yes, the money's there. It's nice. I'm not gonna complain about that. But I think real estate has given me purpose. It's given me a reason to wake up in the morning. It's given me a reason to, get up out of bed and want to do more,
So it almost sounds like real estate's giving you a purpose that maybe the management jobs in H-E-B?
Yeah, H-E-B was my
and the Washtub didn't give you.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I was always working under somebody. I always felt like the agenda was to, make more money for the company, which I understand that's how you run a business.
Yeah.
But there was nothing in there that was ever satisfying. It wasn't like something I woke up in the morning and I was like super excited to do, know? And with real estate, every day is something different, and I love that.
Nice.
I love that, yeah.
So how long have you been into the real estate industry?
I've been in about 1.5 years now. A little over, like 1 year and 7, 8 months.
Wow, 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your opinion on real estate compared to other, let's say, financial markets or market in general? Real estate is a term, it's a very broad term, right? Mm-hmm. Very general. So there's a lot of niches even in real estate industry. So your real estate industry niche is real estate agent.
Yes.
So what's your opinion on the whole industry of real estate?
So I think that real estate is one of those things where I think everybody should try it out. I think
Yeah.
you know
Try out?
try
As in-
like you know take your classes, get your license, and because there's so many routes you can go. You don't have to go the residential. You can go commercial. You don't have to go the you know selling houses. You can do flips, or you can do rentals, or you can
Property
do
management.
property management. There's so many routes that I feel like every one of those could fit somebody's personality.
Right.
And you know you don't have to be super outgoing for some of them. You just have to be smart with your money.
Nice.
So I feel like real estate is one of those things where I feel like it could fit everybody's shoe, but you know, it's if you're willing to make that jump. That's the biggest thing that people have, and that's my problem. Is that you know, when I first started, I was scared, but you know, I made that jump, and it's been the best thing, like the best change in my whole life. You know.
All right, Mitch, I have another question for you. Do a little exercise. What if you had $200,000 with you now, let's say cash, and you know you wanted to invest it into real estate? How would you spend $200,000 in real estate today, right now?
That would be really nice.
Yeah, right?
You know, I think the first thing I would do is, you know, I would look for, now that I know what I know and I can see the potential, especially in the San Antonio market, I would look probably for a property that, you know, needs some work, needs some loving, and you know, buy it for a good price and probably, you know, put some money into it and flip it. I would also invest my money into buying rental property because I feel like residual income is so important in this business because, you know, we have to find a way to retire, and that's the way to do it. So I feel like I would invest that money in not only a flip, I would also invest in rentals.
So you would split 200,000 into maybe a quarter in each project?
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe like 50,000, you know, per house, or you know, just depending on what I can find.
Nice.
But I would for sure invest it in the market, in the housing market, because I feel like there's so much potential there.
Nice.
For for investing that kind of money.
What a great response. I love how Mitchell here is actually breaking up money and not just spending it all one chunk into something, but diversifying what would be an investment. I love that, man.
Yeah.
Let's say you had $20,000 in your pocket right now that you inherited from a will or something.
Yes.
How would you invest that $20,000 today?
Well, so I know, you know, me and my fiance, we just bought our first house last year. You know, eventually I want to turn that house into a rental. If I had $20,000 right now, what I would probably do is buy another house. Find a house that's decently priced, you know, get it at a good deal, and then turn that one into a rental.
How do you know it's at a good deal?
You know, just doing a market analysis, saying, you know, what that house could sell for, and how much it could rent out for. So if you know, if a house is priced really low, you'd be able to tell because you see other houses priced a lot higher around it.
Nice.
So I would definitely do some research, look at the market, see what's available, and then find the house that's right for me, that's going to make me the most profit down the line.
Now, Mitchell, how many years of real estate school and university did you go to learn that?
Oh man, you know, going to college was, you know, a good investment. You know, I feel like it did teach me, you know, basic skills, life skills. You know, but I learned that, you know, just through the basic experience of,
Basic
you know, my
experience.
one
So
year.
can anyone off the street who wants to put some effort, some energy, can learn some of the stuff that you're
Yeah,
talking about?
easy.
So you don't
And
need to be a rocket science?
No, not at all. And then, you know, the courses I seen them as cheap as like $250 to do the real estate courses. So it's not a matter if you can't do it. It's a matter is, are you gonna do it? Do you have the motivation to do it?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's say you wanted to give advice to someone who wanted to look for a realtor. What would be the first best step that someone can take in order to find the realtor that's right for them?
I think the best step to do would be to, you know, first talk to people you trust, so like family members, friends, see if they have somebody that they recommend, because
Nice. Family member, friends.
if they know somebody that they've used, most likely they're good realtors. I mean, because if they're speaking highly of them, they should have, you know,
So
the reputation to back it
ask
up.
family, ask friends.
Exactly. And if nobody really has somebody to recommend, I would say, you know, internet's available. You know, look up, you know, realtors in San Antonio, look up what, you know, how many their ratings, and they're just like looking up a restaurant or looking up anything else. You know, you can look up, you know, how many transactions the realtors closed, or, you know, any comments that were from other people's experiences. I would do that if I didn't have anybody else to kind of go based off of. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk about, we just talked about real estate. Let's talk about real money. So how do you like to spend your money, Mitchell?
You know, since coming into this, you know, the money has been great, to say the least. You know, I'm blessed. You know, I almost have a good amount of money where I don't even know what to do with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's a good problem to have,
yeah,
bro.
exactly. I've treated myself. I'm sure, I bought a new truck. I bought a boat.
tell us what kind of toys you've bought in the last year and a half.
Well, I've been wanting a boat forever, so I finally made that jump and bought a boat.
Nice.
Really nice boat for the saltwater, and then I just bought a Ford Raptor as well.
I heard those things are nice.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to drive. So I've treated myself a little bit here and there. I try not to splurge too much, but more than that, I just save. Because I know that money can go toward investing toward my future.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I'm buying now that are just are temporary, but I
Yeah.
want something that's gonna feed me forever. So that's why I kind of been saving it, just putting it in the bank account and finding the right investment to put
Nice.
that money into.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this kind of money you have now to play with, did you have this kind of money while you're working at the Wash Tub or HEB?
No, I was making decent salary at Wash Tub and HEB. Basic, coming out of college kind of salary.
Yeah.
Now, I'm making, 3-4 times that,
Nice.
which is, unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I don't take it for granted one day, which is
Yeah.
why I work hard every day.
Nice.
But the money is, it's 3 to 4 times more than what I was traditional, which I thought at the moment was a lot.
Did you know that coming into real estate that was a opportunity for you?
I did, but I really didn't think I was gonna scratch the surface on my first year or 2
Yeah.
years. I thought maybe I'd barely make it by. I thought honestly I was gonna struggle for my first 2 years,
Yeah.
like make less than I've ever made.
Yeah.
Which was completely opposite.
Nice.
My
This
first
guy has a lot of good problems.
yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be able to support myself and more.
Nice.
So it's been great. It's been awesome.
Nice. So Mitchell, as far as the money you've been saving, where do you plan to put this money aside? Do you have a plan? Is there any particular investments you have in mind or you're doing?
So I actually, I'm waiting till I hit my 2-year mark with being a realtor so I can buy another house. I want to buy another house. That's my next goal, is to buy another house. Once I get that house, I obviously want to, release it out to somebody. And have a couple of rental houses. That's what my next step is. I'm also investing in our stock that we offer through EXP. I take a little percentage of every one of my commission checks and I put it into the stock, which really paid off because when I invested about a year and a half ago, the stock was sitting at about $7 a stock,
Yeah.
and now it's almost at $50. So
Wow.
I've more than quadrupled my money just through the stock.
Just because the company is being successful.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
So you're making money in stocks
Yeah.
to the company because this company is being
Exactly. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So that's another kind of investment I have going on, and then I'm also investing. As far as I'm investing in stocks, I'm investing in rentals, and then I'm also my next thing is to invest into a property like a rehab property.
Nice.
That is going to need some money. I have investors that I'm working with right now that are looking out for deals.
Yeah.
And when the right one pops up, I'm gonna put cash down for it and
Nice.
hopefully do my first investment property.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How about retirement accounts? I know it's hard for people our age to think about retirement, and normally with a corporate job, they give you like a retirement pension that comes with the employment. So what does EXP offer, and how do you take advantage of that?
So, I don't have a specific retirement account right now. I do have life insurance, and I have like an account that I do put money in monthly
Nice.
that grows at an exponential rate. That's kind of just a side thing, just in
Yeah.
case, worst case scenario. But with EXP, what I'm really trying to set myself up with is, the whole revenue share we get. The more we help the people below us, the more money we can make every month. And
Yeah.
so, my mentor, the one who brought me on, is kind of a really good example of that, because now he's making so much residual money, it pays his car and his house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I've been trying to take advantage of is,
Yes.
Really, helping the people grow under me, and if they grow, we all grow together.
Nice.
And so that's kind of my long-term goal with EXP,
Nice.
to kind of build that, retirement,
Yeah.
to be able to retire one day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. So it sounds like Mitchell has been able to make a better quality of life for himself and his family by moving into the real estate industry. Not only has he quadrupled his money, he also is learning how to invest his money in the long run, so that when he's old and gray hair,
Yeah.
he has some assets that are taking care of himself.
Yep.
So good job, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Let's get to know you a little bit more. So now that we know you're a real estate agent, you've been in this field over about 2 years. You're making good money and you're spending the money right. Who's Mitchell? Where is Mitchell from? Where he grew up? You know.
So a little bit about me. You know, born and raised here in San Antonio. I love it. I'll never leave. It's home for me. Went to Stevens High School right off of Petrenko.
Stevens High School.
Yeah, Stevens High School. Graduated in 12, and then went to UTSA for my degree, my bachelor's degree, which I graduated in 2017. My whole family's from here. So. I definitely love being here. I love being able to sell houses here because it's my home. I just recently got engaged as well, so that's really exciting. Yeah.
So you grew up in the northwest part of San Antonio,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
By SeaWorld, right?
Yep.
Where do you live now?
We still live over there. We live right there. We live like Marbach and 604 on the outer side of it. Yeah. So I love that area so much that I just wanted to stay there. And the house prices are good there too. Nice. So it worked out really well.
How about your family? You have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah. So I have 2 younger brothers. One is, I want to say, 17, and the other one's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
So
did your family come from money? Or
no, not at all. When I made the switch to be a realtor, my parents were pretty, a little disappointed, just because, they wanted me to go, where my degree was going to benefit me. And I understood that, but I told them, I had to do this for myself. I had to make this jump for myself and at least say I did it. Yeah. And now, they've seen the success I've had and they're extremely proud and happy about it. They are big. They're my big support system now, and they help me get through the hard times. Because real estate, it's nice, the money, but there is tough times.
Yeah, you're working. You almost have to put it aside to live a life a little bit.
Yep.
Because it's not like it's 5 o'clock on a Friday night. Okay, work is done. Like, no. Sometimes I bet you're up at night, 5 o'clock. Friday night. doing some, writing some offers or handling some kind of coordination.
Exactly.
Right? So even if it's a weekend, you're still working through that weekend.
Yep. It's like a constant grind. You can't clock out. And you do have to eventually set that time where I got to put away my phone and I got to focus on my family because it can get overwhelming. But that's time management, and I've gotten better with it over time. So it's gotten a lot better. But
is your family from San Antonio?
Yes, all my family's from San Antonio.
So you're San Antonian,
I'm a true San Antonian.
Yeah. Mom, dad from San Antonio.
Yeah,
you're from
everybody.
San Antonio.
Yeah. So
you have a tattoo anywhere around?
Nah. I don't got FA tatted on me, but I love it, man. I told my fiance I would never leave here. Like I love it so much, and my family's here, and it's just the best place to me, and it's growing so much. It's like not to be in real estate, you're paying not to be in real estate because it's just there's so much growth, and even if you're just barely touching the peak of it or a little taste of it, you can make a good living off of it.
So here's some fun facts. May not be true from what I've picked up last few months. Is that like out of like the 14,000 licensed real estate agents in San Antonio, of those only 3,000 are active. And then you look at the growth projection of San Antonio in the next 10 years, there should be another 1 million people moving in to San Antonio. So that's a lot of people needing a lot of houses and not enough real estate agents to do that job. So if you are interested in becoming a real estate agent, I think now is the time.
It is. Yep. I mean, like I said, it's a little investment of, I've seen it as cheap, like I said, as cheap as $250, and it's on your spare time. It's all online courses. You just you have to pass the test at the end, but just even to have it and just to help your family it's worth it. It really is. And there's so many avenues where you can make money. You could pick one that you like the most and go with it, and that's what I did.
Isn't it cool how real estate it's an industry, but there's it's so broad. You can do so many things. And I want to educate people that the average person can get into real estate and create wealth for themselves.
Exactly.
You don't even have to be a licensed agent. You're just buying a house right, or if you own a house, selling it right, or moving on to the next property right. It's just those of you who own a house now may not know it, but you may be a real estate investor right now, depending on how you purchase the house and how are you going to let go of the house and what you're going to do with it next. So it's amazing to meet someone who's fairly new to the game, but is just killing it. He's just killing it in the market. He's doing so many. How many people have you helped get a house in the last, or sell a house in the last 6 months?
Oh man, it's been amazing the last 6 months. I say at least like 30,
30
people. Yeah.
So since COVID-19, which happened in March, till what are we now, November, he's able to help 30, you said?
Yeah.
About 30 people transition from house to house. So
Yeah.
isn't that amazing? And doesn't it give you a good feeling knowing that you're being a part of someone's kind of transition of life and
Yeah.
helping them build
Yeah.
a better quality of life?
Yeah, it's that's what gives me purpose. That's, you know, because a lot of people I help are either buying their first house or they're buying their last,
Yeah.
and so you're making that big mark in their life. You're always going to be part of their life.
Yeah.
You've helped them with the biggest transaction of their life, and so it's an amazing feeling to be able to do, especially during COVID. You know, it really brought a lot of people's spirits down.
Yeah.
So, you know, to be able to help them, you know, at least have one great thing happen in this year, you know,
Yeah.
it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
It's a really good feeling.
Because
yeah.
real estate is on fire right
Yeah,
now.
it is. Yep.
So
Yep.
if you're interested in buying or selling a house, contact Mitchell Gonzalez. Information will be down below. This is going to wrap up our first segment of Real Talk, Real Money. No. Real Talk. Real. So, all right. So we're going to wrap up here with our first ever guest for our segment, Real Life, Real Money, Real Estate. If you want to contact Mitchell Gonzalez, I'll have his information down below. Mitchell, any last words?
No, I appreciate you bringing me on the little podcast you're doing,
Yeah.
and I look forward to, you know, having many more hopefully talks in the future.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
man.
no, appreciate you.
All right, let's go have a beer.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Let's go.